development in the sex abuse crimes of women formerly incarcerated at the Federal Correctional Institution in Dublin. The Department of Justice today announced 2 more federal former correctional officers have been charged, bringing the total number to 10. And that is the highest number of Bureau of Prisons employees charged with these crimes of any prison in the country. The newest defendants are 34-year-old Jeffrey Wilson, who has been charged with 5 counts of sexual abuse, and 33-year-old Lorska Codd, who faces 1 count of abusive sexual contact. The charges for both stem from alleged abuses in 2022. FCI Dublin was shut down last year. The Bureau of Prisons says it doesn't comment on pending litigation. But in a statement, Director William K. Marshall said in part, quote, "Those who abuse their position, who treat inmates or their fellow employees with anything less than the dignity and integrity I would expect my kids to be treated with, they are not BOP employees in my eyes. By their actions, they have forfeited that title."
Well, the Pentagon today revealing more information about the U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities over the weekend. The Defense Secretary and the Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman sharing new details on the operation that they say was years in the making. Our Tori Gaines with how the U.S. prepared for this bombing mission.
A Thursday morning Pentagon briefing is giving us the first close look at the Iran strikes, a military operation that the Department of Defense is calling a historic success.
The reality is you want to call it destroyed, you want to call it defeated, you want to call it obliterated. Choose your word. This was an historically successful attack, and we should celebrate it as Americans, and it gives us a chance to have peace.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Kane, described the years of research that led to the development of the GBU-57, the 30,000-pound bomb known as a bunker buster, which was used in Saturday's strike against Iran's nuclear sites.
You do not build a multi-layered underground bunker complex with centrifuges and other equipment in a mountain for any peaceful purpose.
In 2009, an American, who the chairman did not name for safety reasons, was shown photos of a construction project in Iran. After determining the area would be used to create nuclear materials, that unidentified person realized our country did not have a weapon strong enough to destroy the site. So the U.S. got to work on developing a more powerful bomb.
They weren't able to discuss this with their family, their wives, their kids, their friends, but they just kept grinding it out.
That's when the GBU-57 was born.
They accomplished hundreds of test shots and dropped many full-scale weapons against extremely realistic targets for a single purpose: kill this target at the time and place of our nation's choosing.
The administration maintains Iran's nuclear capabilities were destroyed in the attacks, but an early assessment from the Defense Intelligence Agency says there is low confidence that some uranium had been moved out of Fordo before the strikes. And Thursday morning, Iran's supreme leader claiming a victory over Israel on an Iranian state television broadcast, saying, quote, "The Islamic Republic was victorious and in retaliation delivered a hand slap to America's face," unquote. Secretary Hegseth pushing back in that Pentagon briefing.
I would say Iran's going to have to say a lot of things right now in order to bolster their image, especially internally. You know, in the media, there's a lot of things they'll say for domestic consumption. But we're watching very closely what they do